Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following episode. My name is Colton Brown, and joining me is Andrew Meadows.
We are here in the new year. Did we record anything in the new year? I think this is the first recording of the new year.
It's the first one since 2022 has arrived. So happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to all of our listeners. Yep, we're out of the mess that was 2021. I think maybe a modest improvement over the prior year. I suppose we'll do a full breakdown of the year in due time, at least as far as the film and television was concerned, which I think was also probably more than a modest improvement, given that we actually had movies coming out in theaters for most of the year. But certainly not one of the finest years that we've ever experienced in our lifetimes. But alas, we turned the page to a new chapter, to 2022. So yeah, here we are, talking about a 2021 film called Encanto. Because we got some catching up to do. We've got a few 2021 things that we need to get around to. Hawkeye is on our plate. It's wrapped up. It's done on Disney Plus. But speaking honestly, I feel like I needed a break from some Marvel stuff. It would have been 3 Marvel episodes in a row, and I figured, having something to punctuate it, I think would be good. It's just the two of us today, so I think we're hoping for, dare we say it, a breezier episode on a little fun film called Encanto, which. I gave about 2 minutes worth of thoughts in the catching up section of our Spider-Man No Way Home episode, thinking we wouldn't cover it, and then to my surprise, it just gets dumped on Disney Plus like a month after it came out in theaters. Yeah. I had no idea that was happening.
Pretty excited
so I was
about
just like,
that.
I was like, okay, well, Andrew can watch it now, and I'm not going to feel bad about asking him to watch it because it's, it's a night on the couch. That's not so bad. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. Obviously, my thoughts are out there already, but I will certainly offer some more expanded thoughts when we talk about the movie later in this episode. I should also say, if I sound any different, it's because my parents very graciously got me a new microphone as a Christmas present. I had been rocking my OG microphone since day one of the podcast, ever since we talked about The Dark Tower and Atomic Blonde, and nearly 200 episodes in, it was time for an upgrade. I think it was overdue. At one point, Andrew upgraded, and it's probably been a couple of years since that happened. Hell, Enrique has upgraded a couple times, and he's technically just a guest, although obviously he hangs out with us pretty frequently. So yeah, it was overdue. So I'm sticking with an Audio-Technica. I think this is a ATR 2040, which is the same style of microphone that I had. I think it's I won't get bogged down in the specifics, mostly because I'll fuck it up because I can't remember them specifically anyway. But basically, shouldn't pick up too much background noise, although we'll see if that's true. Hopefully I sound a little, clearer, a little better. It's definitely new. The old boom arm that I'm rocking is much improved as well. So yeah, it's a bit of an upgrade on the setup overall. I'm excited about it. I also got an audio interface. I don't know. I'm already blanking out the exact word.
Behringer. You got a Behringer.
I got a Behringer, so I can plug in a couple microphones at the same time. So
it's like a mixer.
If there's anyone, a mixer. That's what I'm looking for. So anytime there's 2 people that happen to be recording in this little studio space, aka the guest bedroom, then we don't have to share microphones anymore. So that's very exciting. That's basically what Andrew has. Just I'll have 2 inputs on mine. He has 4 on his, because bigger and better and all that jazz. But
just. At one point, I had more friends. Now there's only one. Well,
for a while we weren't allowed to hang out with friends, and
that's it.
It just happens. Yeah. You want to talk some fun facts for Encanto?
Fact.
All right. What do you have to offer?
I didn't know where this movie took place. I thought it was obviously Latin inspired. I didn't know exactly where though.
Sure. Okay.
And it's set in Colombia.
It is indeed Colombia,
which is cool. I didn't and so my exposure to Colombian culture is very, very, very limited. And
as you know, they have magic in that country.
Right?
As you've now learned, I'm sure.
Magical place. And I thought it was really cool. I was doing a little bit of reading on how how they made this movie and its inspirations and everything. And they ended up hiring a couple of people to be cultural consultants, I guess, for the movie. And it was really interesting. It's just it's a really cool thing. So I mean, I really like how, and we've talked about it before, but it seems like Disney's these animated films that they're putting out, they kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of like they're globetrotting with you got the Scandinavians and stuff in Frozen, I guess, right? Is that where that takes place?
I mean, I feel like I think it's technically fictional, but it's inspired clearly by some European cultures, I think. So
yeah, and then you got Moana, which is the
that's Polynesian, and
and then
yeah,
it's cool. And I think that's something that
cool.
Disney's always done. I mean, you always had like your Disney princesses came from different places and stuff, which is just it's all inclusive kind of thing, and it's really cool, especially when it's accurate. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but it definitely seems full of heart and it seems rich and things. So it's really cool. Set in Colombia, and like I said, my exposure on Colombian culture is very limited. So it is cool to take a dive into a different culture, which is neat.
Yeah, definitely. It's important to showcase cultures that often are not being represented. And yes, obviously, there's a lot going on in this film that's not actually happening in Colombia with the magic particularly, you know what I mean? It's fiction. But, I think it's probably maybe highlighting and pulling on certain bits of the culture, making them a little bit more
the dancing, the choreography,
exciting and stuff. Yeah, I think it's kind of just a fusion of different things in the culture, that lead you to this final product. So, I think it's cool. I'll add a kind of tack on fun fact, which is actually, I think, kind of just building off of that. Most of the voice cast in this film are either Colombian themselves or are of Colombian descent, heritage. And I think there's only like one or two exceptions. But it's nice to see that. I feel like that often doesn't happen. It's just like, South America, you can cast anyone from a South American country who's going to know the difference. And like, it's not necessarily anything wrong with that, I guess, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's certainly better than hiring a bunch of white people to affect accents and do their thing. But I feel like it makes it feel more authentic by having actual Colombian voices on display here. So there's only a couple of super recognizable names, I think, in this. And there's a lot of names, I think, that a lot of American audiences wouldn't necessarily recognize who play good-sized roles as part of the supporting cast in this film. So it's very cool. However, there is one white man for sure in the cast. God damn it, Alan Tudyk. How do you always get involved with these fucking projects? He's playing a toucan in this.
Is he the toucan?
Because that's what he does. Is just anytime he's in a Disney animated film, he just does weird bird noises. I think he did it in Moana.
He was the chicken in Moana, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. He was the chicken in Moana. He was the Roly Thinky and Raya earlier. Well, not earlier this year, but I guess technically last year. So he's certainly carved out a little niche for himself doing these things, and of course he's also had some pretty good sized actual roles in his day too. So anyway, good on you, Alan Tudyk, for sneaking your way in there. I don't think there's any Colombian in his blood as far as I'm aware, but that's okay. He's making he's doing some bird noises. Who cares? It is what it is. Anyway, we have some news to discuss. If you'd like to discuss some news,
yes.
All right, and when I say that we have some news to discuss, what I actually mean is we have 4 trailers to discuss.
Fabulous.
And that's all. only 4 trailers. So we'll bookend it with some animated projects. We'll start with one that I had no idea existed until I think I saw the trailer for this in front of something in the theaters. I don't remember actually what I was even seeing. Maybe it was just Encanto that I was seeing in front of, and I'm just like, holy shit, they actually made this a movie. Okay. DC League of Superpets. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is Crypto the Superdog. And, you got a star-studded voice cast of Kevin Hart, Kate McKinnon, John Krasinski, I'm sure others. Apparently Ben Schwartz and Keanu Reeves. I don't even know who they're playing. But you got yourself a little animated super dog team, or I guess super animal team, because there's a pig, there's a
squirrel.
There's another dog, there's a squirrel, there's an evil cat. Cats are always evil, so that's actually pretty appropriate. But anyway, what'd you think about DC League of Super Pets?
I didn't need it.
Are you ready to hop into theaters? May 2022?
I'll stream it.
May of this year.
I think I'll stream that. I don't necessarily want to drive to Tampa to watch that.
But here's the thing. Now that we're in 2022, we're fucked. HBO Max, the well has dried up. I think Matrix is chilling on there right now, but that'll be up there for a month or so till the end of January.
And that's it.
And then you got to drive your ass to theaters to see some WB movies again. I know. We're back in the dark ages.
Oh man, the future seems so bright. No, I like that.
But this does feel like if it were a 2021 release, it would have been an easy HBO Max. Yeah, throw it on for an hour and a half. Yeah. Am I going to drive 20 minutes to a theater? It's a harder call. It's a harder call.
Like,
make.
what else is out that week? Like, what are my choices?
Exactly. That's that. I think that's what this is going to boil down to. It's like, all right, are we like, do we really need something to cover? Are we going to take the week off? Right. Or is something else coming out that we're just going to cover?
Is Sarah
anyway,
interested in it?
Be that. Is Sarah interested in it? That's also an important question to ask. So
I know one of these Sarah's going to be interested in. So I will be seeing one of these, maybe 2 of them.
All right. Well, let me know what they are, I guess, when we get there. So, okay, it looks fine, I think, for what it is, which is, I guess a question of, do we need this? Yeah. And the answer is no, not really.
It made me laugh. I kind of giggled a little bit.
For what it is, it seems charming enough. It seems to be kind of what it should be, I guess, So I like The Rock. He's in everything. The man gets paid so many millions of dollars. It's probably unfathomable, really, but he's putting the work in.
I watched a thing one time. I saw it on YouTube or whatever. You will never hustle as hard as me.
He's grinding, man.
He does go hard,
This isn't even his only DC project. He's got Black Adam rolling out sometime this year as well. Live action, that one, obviously, but I don't know. Crypto's a fun little super dog character. I don't know if this is necessarily based off of anything, or if it's just, kind of a silly little diversion for DC films, which silly and DC is actually probably a good combination. Like, DC actually deliberately trying to be funny is probably a good thing, as opposed to, obviously the direction that they'd gone for a while there. But, like I said, it'll be a question mark of whether we actually do cover this come the time that it releases. But,
it doesn't look terrible. It looks
yeah,
all right.
There's probably worse things to waste your time with, would be my guess.
It's probably pretty funny, honestly.
It's probably pretty entertaining. It's probably light. It's probably, going to be pretty short. And, it's Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart just Jumanjiing it up again, but in animated form. So, like, fine. So, yeah, it's coming out in May. We'll see what happens with it. Yeah. For a movie that I, I know nothing about, that I don't need, sure. For those who are going to be interested in this, I think it'll probably be satisfying, So nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But is there anything wrong with yet another Fantastic Beasts film? The Secrets of Dumbledore April 2022. We'll actually get this a little bit earlier than DC League of Super Pets. Well, Johnny Depp is out, first of all, and I, for one, am fine with that.
Yes, I'd much rather,
because he looked fucking ridiculous in his very brief appearance in the first one, and then fuller appearance in the second one. In his place, Mads Mikkelsen. So tonight is the first time that I watched this trailer, and I'd only seen like 2 seconds of it previously because I was curious to see what they did with the look for Grindelwald. Because I was going to say, if they put Maz and that fucking ridiculous getup that they put Depp in, or that Depp himself maybe put himself in, because that's probably the weird sort of shit he would do.
I think Depp put himself in that shit.
I think he might have. I think it's a very good possibility that he was his own makeup artist.
No, this dude looks like a normal guy with a weird eye. I got a weird eye.
He just looks like a dude, So that's crazy. Colin Farrell looked like a dude. It was just a weird little phase in the middle. I don't know if they're just going to polyjuice their way out of this one's too, or if it'll be it looks different and it's fine, don't worry about it. I feel like they'll probably do a one-liner explanation. I think the more salient thing for me and why I really waited to actually watch it once I, satisfied my curiosity of what the hell they were doing with Maz is that second film was really, really awful. It was bad. It was convoluted, pointlessly convoluted, overlong, overstuffed. Enough that, I didn't really need more. I didn't want more. And then obviously you add an extra layer of J.K. Rowling being an absolute piece of shit. It's just kind of like, I don't really like supporting the Harry Potter franchise anymore. I also think this looks like very gray and very dull and mostly just bad. Maybe it's because I'm kind of just on the hate train at this point with all the Harry Potter stuff. And so I'm just inclined to hate it. Maybe I'll accept that. But I don't know. What do you think? Is this a Sarah interested project for you? Are you interested in this? Where are you at?
I can't remember my feelings on the first and second movie. I don't think I liked the second one either.
I think the first one was fine. It was
first one was okay,
pointless spinoff, but for what it was, it certainly served its purpose.
I think the best thing about the movie though was always the Muggle. What's his name?
Yeah. Jacob.
Yes, Jacob. I enjoyed him. I thought he was entertaining. I enjoyed the animals, or the creatures, or whatever.
The fantastic beasts, if you will.
Yeah. I think everything else has been kind of shit. The humor's kind of been on point. I think the humor's been on point. The humor seems to be written well. The beasts, I do like the beasts, and I like the relationship that whatever his name has with the different animals and whatnot. I do like Jude Law. This one seems to have a bunch of Jude Law in it.
Yeah. Casting's never been really a problem, Well,
no,
I guess maybe Depp aside, I suppose.
But I don't know. I think it's got Maz in it, so I'm gonna say I'm like 60. I'm gonna say I'm 60. I'm gonna say I'm 70 in, 30 out. I'll see it.
Okay. All right.
I hope that it's better than. I hope that the third time is the charm. This might be the best one.
It very well could be. I don't think it will be, but I don't want to cast too much judgment before obviously I see anything. I'm just really so sick and tired of David Yates's visual style that he brings to the Harry Potter table. He's directed like 10 of these fucking things in a row,
and you're done.
And they're all the same boring ass gray and more gray scale type of visual palette. It's just not appealing to me. And I think the more that this like tries to dig deeper into the Harry Potter lore and kind of that honestly, the less interesting it is for me, because that first movie was really detached. It was in a totally different time period. Like, there were fucking wizards and shit, But like it was all different. There wasn't Dumbledore and 18 Dumbledores. I'm Dumbledore's brother, but also he's Dumbledore's secret brother and also Dumbledore's other brother. You know, because he's got so many secrets. The secret is he has many siblings that he doesn't tell people about. That's the secret. I spoiled the movie for everyone.
Oh, you fuck. I didn't read the books. I don't know this.
None of this is coming from the books. That's the problem. She's just making this shit up as she goes.
Is it JK that's making them up?
Yeah, I think she co-wrote the screenplay on this one. I think she had sole writing credit for the last screenplay for the second one, which I think explains why it was so bad. Because I think that she's just gone deeper into her own bullshit, and you know, you live long enough.
It's the Ridley Scott.
It's the Ridley Scott thing. It's the, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain kind of deal. Where if she just kept her fucking mouth shut, even if she was harboring all these hateful thoughts. No. She has to tell everyone in the world on Twitter how much of a shitty person she is and how people, it basically put people in a bind where it's just like, oh, well, the Harry Potter world's like interesting and it could be interesting. And like they have that fucking game coming out. We're like, oh, I've wanted a Harry Potter RPG all my life. Maybe that'll be it. But like, oh no, the creator is just a hateful piece of shit and I don't want to support anything she does. Also, she's lost her goddamn mind at this point. So she's just churning out dog shit. So it's like, I don't know. I think someone actually, I don't know if this we'll find out, I guess, if this is actually true in April when this comes out. I'm pretty sure someone leaked the entire script, or at least a summary of the entire script, just because they're just like, fuck her. Like, we don't care.
Oh, and it's shitty?
I don't think people were too positive about it. But what I will say is sometimes things in the written form don't necessarily translate until you can actually see it in practice. So that's not necessarily indicative of what the final product will be. I just, like I said, I am on the hate train unabashedly.
I'm 50-50.
50-50 is okay. I'll let you take the plunge, I think, probably before I do. And this to me is an up in the air one because I do feel bad. Like I don't want to pay money to see this. Is kind of how I feel about it because any time that I put towards this pretty much directly supports JK, which is kind of antithetical to how I, feel as a person, like my personal beliefs. I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. Like you spend your money how you fucking please. Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe I'll pirate it.
If you want to say that you're supporting AMC and then AMC is supporting her, like I guess you can justify that in a roundabout way. But you do you.
My feeling, and maybe this is a poor. Her shit's gonna get made, right? Like,
yeah, like it's too big to fail at this point, really.
Right? She's getting paid. Hey, there's no way around
Harry
it.
Potter is a huge cash cow. You go to Universal, you go to the parks. It's the same shit. I'm sure it's feeding into the same funnel of money.
When it comes to things like this, like if I go to a restaurant and the place is just bad or whatever, like it's a hateful place, like they put hateful shit on their signs and blah 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 blah. Yeah, fuck you people. I'm not gonna do that. Now maybe that's different. Maybe I'm just being a hypocrite. I don't know. When it comes to actors, actresses, and creators of content, and artists and stuff like that, it's like I can like what you're putting out, and I can also think that you got your head shoved so far up your own ass, and you're just. It's like Nolan when he was talking about the movie theaters and Tenet. Yeah, I like most of the stuff you do. I think you make some pretty good shit, but you're also just a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's about my feeling. I can enjoy the art and hate the artist. You know what I mean?
Sure. Sure.
I do understand what you're saying though about supporting bullshit and supporting, directly putting money in the pockets of a piece of shit. I get it.
Yeah.
Especially when their shit is not that good, right? Like I don't want to support you. Like, why would I support you if you're a piece of shit and the shit you make is no good?
Yeah,
like, it's just it's a lose-lose.
Which is like I to me it's the double whammy for me of, well, obviously there's the JK layer, which I almost put as the second layer. The first layer is I don't really care in the first place, so it's kind of hard for me to, I don't know, muster any sort of enthusiasm on any level. But it's out there for the people that do care about this, and the YouTube comments people are very upset about Johnny Depp. The Johnny Depp fan group is out in full force for some reason. I'm like, that's certainly another hill to die on, but you do you.
What happened? What did he say?
Just Johnny Depp. I mean, he's been embroiled in like lawsuits for years with his ex-wife Amber Heard about domestic abuse, and it's been
and shitting on the bed and stuff. I shit on the bed.
Someone shat on the bed. I don't know who did it, but it was at least one of them, and it was probably both of them. It was probably Frank. Is probably who it was. It's probably Frank from Always Sunny. Nah, I did it.
Sunny's skit brought to life. Holy shit! We're taking it to court. You shit the bed. Anyways,
it's I think both of them are shitty people. Is probably really that's probably the full story. But anyway, let's move on to something a little bit more uplifting, I hope.
Johnny Depp has a cologne commercial. He doesn't need Ace of Spades or Fantastic Beasts or anything anymore. He's fucking the cover of Dior.
He's doing fine. He's doing just fine.
Dior, Johnny Depp. He's scissor handing about. Fucking guy. Anyways,
The Lost City coming out even sooner. I'm just like working backwards in terms of timeline. I think this is March. This is coming out.
For real?
For real. Just a couple months away. I don't actually know what the exact date is. Didn't say in the trailer, but it is a I guess sort of adventure comedy type thing with Sandra Bullock.
Comedy rom-com.
Yeah, exactly. Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, and someone who they probably shouldn't have spoiled their inclusion in the trailer, but I guess they were worried about it not getting butts in seats. Yeah, I will say it worked, but that would have been I guess I can't fault them because I probably wouldn't have given a shit otherwise. But you tell me Brad Pitt's in this thing, I'm like, okay. He's having a real Tom Cruise Tropic Thunder type moment in this one. It feels like not like to the same level of take a step back and fuck yourself in the face kind of business, but just completely going for broke in terms of the ridiculousness. This looks like fun. Would you concur with me?
Yes, this is going to be a Sarah and Andrew date night movie, I think.
Nice. Yeah, I think that sounds like a great plan.
In the beginning, I said, fuck.
What? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I feel the same way. And
then it got funnier and funnier as the trailer went, and I was laughing about it before before Brad Pitt showed up, and then when Brad Pitt showed up, I'm like, holy shit, it's Brad Pitt. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it does look pretty funny. It's a fun setup of throwing a writer into an adventure setting.
A romance novelist
into an adventure setting, along with a dumbass Fabio-esque cover model. And you got
Channing Tatum always plays the dumbass, so like just the fucking muscle-headed dumbass so well.
Channing Tatum as a dumbass in like a comedy setting, he's really, really good. When he's like serious and earnest, he's bad. But when he's allowed to just 21 Jump Street it, I really, really actually enjoy him. I never thought I would say about it, but I really feel like this is the kind of role that Channing Tatum is really good at. You know what I mean? It's
been typecast.
Yeah, but not in a bad way anymore. Before it was like, Dear John and, fuck all this shit. Like, no one, he's just bad at it. He's not like a great actor, he doesn't have the chops for that sort of thing. But he's clearly got some comedic chops. He was in Free Guy as well, where he kind of played like a similar kind of, it was like a cameo type thing in that. But, good for him. This is the sort of thing that works. It's the sort of thing that works. You also got the actual Harry Potter in this fucking thing playing
it's like
a billionaire.
It's like John Cena. John Cena knows what he's...
It's exactly that type of thing. John Cena.
Lean into it.
John Cena in F9, not very good. Yeah. John Cena in the Suicide Squad, excuse me. Pretty funny, pretty good. He's getting his own fucking show, and that's like right around the corner. That thing's going up on HBO Max, so you got that going on too. But yeah, Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, Brad Pitt. Not bad. Fun setting. As Anna has actually stated to me, this looks like a better Uncharted movie than the Uncharted movie. It's obviously a lot sillier, but that seems accurate to me. We'll find out, obviously, but yeah, I'm in for this.
Looks fun.
I like adventure type movies like this, and it's an adventure comedy with a little dash of romance in it.
As long as it's better than that one with Matthew McConaughey. Which one was that one?
Oh boy, Fool's Gold.
That one was.
I don't know.
Yeah,
is that it? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that one in the desert. That one was bad.
Oh yeah, is that it? Is that the one? I don't even know. He did a bunch of those for a while there, so there's probably at least 2 or 3 movies that you could be referring to. But yeah.
Real bad.
Anyways,
yes, I'm all in.
All right, all in on The Lost City. We'll probably both have date nights for this independently, and then we'll have some thoughts to share. That brings us to our last trailer, another animated one, the animated bookend for this animated film that we're talking about in just a few minutes. The last trailer is for the next Pixar film called Turning Red. We got a teaser for this a little while back. I know we talked about that, I think actually with Enrique, if I'm not mistaken. But now we have an official trailer that gives you a bit more of the story and a little bit more of the characters, I think. I think you're getting a pretty good look at this. And this is also a
Does
March
it look
one.
totally fucking fabulous, or is it just me?
This looks amazing. I think it's probably my favorite of the 4 trailers. Not that it's super hard to surpass the first 2, right? You know what I mean? But yeah, Lost City was fun, and I think it's going to be a blast and fun to watch. This to me feels like it could hit the sort of animated films, man. I feel like, especially with you, they bring you to tears a lot, man. And this to me feels like this could be a real emotional journey.
Fucking crying all the time, fucking crying. But I think I'm broken. I'm a broken man.
You're just an emotional man. That's all. You're sensitive.
I'm just looking for the perfect opportunity to fucking weep. And I think
you hold it together long enough to maintain the facade at work, and then you get home and the shell collapses.
And I crumble. Play some sentimental music and show me an animal with sad eyes. Oh my god.
Pretty much.
Yeah, turning red looks pretty great. It looks like it's it almost reminded me a little bit of I wonder if it's got any of the same creators as that ridiculously great Netflix movie that came out.
Mitchell's versus Machines. I don't know.
Some of the like how would the camera would instantly zoom in on like labels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just I don't know, some of the way the characters moved and just the way that I don't know. It felt like an animated anime but Pixar-y. Maybe they were leaning to the fact that it's like Japanese in style a little bit, or it's taking place.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got a cool vibe about it though, and I'm 100%
I love the animation style. I think it's one of the most unique like animation styles that we've seen. It doesn't look like Pixar, really. You know what I mean?
No.
I feel like Pixar has a very specific aesthetic associated with it. Obviously, you diverge a little bit, but this is so stylized compared to a lot of what we've gotten with really a lot of just 3D animated films as well. It feels almost closer to a Ghibli-esque aesthetic to me, like brought into a 3D world. And, I don't know. It looks like it's going to be heartfelt. It looks like it's going to be emotional. And it looks like it's going to be funny and just, the constant back and forth between little girl and red panda, I feel like it will not get old throughout the movie. You know what I mean? Like it's going to make every scene interesting.
The dodgeball scene.
Yeah, I mean, incredible. It was like she's definitely ready to murder that kid. Obviously, with the torque behind that dodgeball, would have just pulverized his head.
I used to play a game on Game Boy Advance. I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a dodgeball game, and your people would power up that way. And the people would just like, and they just turn to dust and stuff. It was awesome. It was a great game.
Yeah. So maybe they were inspired by that game in making this. But
yeah, maybe.
But it looks great. This is gonna be one of my more hyped films of 2022, which is another episode that we'll have. We'll obviously be looking back at 2021, but we'll be looking ahead to 2022 because we've got some movies to look forward to. certainly. And I think this will be high on the list of things to look forward to. So I think we can now turn our attention towards another animated film that I don't know. Maybe it tugged on the old heartstrings. I think it did for me. Maybe it did for you. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Encanto. I think it's still in theaters technically, but it's also free on Disney Plus as of now. I think around Christmas or so it went up on Disney Plus. So there's that. Before I guess I really get into it, I did want to say also on Disney Plus is a short film called Far From the Tree, which was what played in front of Encanto in theaters, and it's incredible. You should watch it. I'm sure it's only
I watched it tonight.
Long. Okay, good. We could have a 20-minute sidebar on that. Anyway, but all I could see was just Obi and that fucking little what do you remember what creature it was?
Little raccoons.
Was it a raccoon? I thought it was a raccoon. Okay. I was like, I was going to start talking about raccoons. I'm like, shit, was it actually a raccoon? I can't remember now. But yeah, I've only seen it the once. I saw it when we saw it in theaters. And I saw that they had put it up on Disney Plus. Oh man. Anna and I were just that got us good.
It fills
really
you up,
good.
Dude. Just fills you up.
Yeah, and that's like, oh man, hope the short film's not better than the actual movie, but turns out they're both pretty good. We'll say that. I'll say that for now because people already know how I feel about this movie. They already know I liked it. I can say that freely. The real question is whether Andrew likes it. But let me set it up and then I'll ask him that question. Encanto was written by Charisse Castro-Smith and Jared Bush, directed by Jared Bush and Byron Howard, co-directed by Charisse Castro-Smith, featuring original songs written by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Son of a bitch.
The man is very talented and keeping himself also very busy he's keeping himself busy, that's for sure. Stars Stephanie Beatriz, Maria Cecilia Botero, John Leguizamo, Mauro Castillo, Jessica Darrow, Angie Cepeda, Carolina Gaitan, Diane Guerrero, and Wilder Valderrama. It's about a young Colombian girl who has to face the frustration of being the only member of her family, the family Madrigal, without magical powers. She doesn't have magical powers. It's a real unfortunate situation for her. She's ostracized. It's tough. Life is tough. But, she's got to live with it. She's got to live with what's happening and work her way through it. And so that's kind of the journey that we follow throughout Encanto. I guess I should do a box office breakdown ever so briefly, I suppose. No horns necessary. I'll just say it's done okay. I think sitting at about $207 million worldwide, $91 million domestically. I think it did $27 million in its opening weekend, which was over a month ago now, and late November. I think it might have been Thanksgiving weekend that it came out. I do think it was number one for a couple weeks. I think it was just
time. Yeah.
At the time that it came out, it did well. I think Ghostbusters was out. Gucci, House of Gucci was also out. And then, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, in retrospect, has just made, every, box office thing, meh.
That's true.
Could be better. So anyway, it was fine. It's done all right. I don't know how much it cost. Looks like budget of 120 to 150. So, not a runaway success, but not a disaster either, I guess, is probably where it stands. So anyway, where do you stand? Are you like me? Did you have a good time with Encanto? Did you enjoy it?
So, Encanto took a moment for me to get into it. Maybe it's because I wasn't set up I didn't. So I got a doorbell. A different doorbell, had a Ring doorbell, got this Logitech doorbell, and when I got home from work and I immediately started trying to install the doorbell, and then Sarah said she's coming home from the gym, so I hurried up and cooked dinner, and then I finished making the doorbell, and then I sat on the couch and I kind of configured the doorbell while I hit play, because at that point it was 9:20, and I've been trying New Year thing. I've been trying to go to bed a little bit earlier, and It makes work so much more manageable going in well rested.
Sure.
And so anyways, I click play and I tried to configure the thing, and it took a little bit for me to get into it. I'm looking and anytime I watch these kinds of movies, I kind of, I guess when you watch anything for that matter, you gauge where you're at based off set pieces, or in these kinds of movies, what song it is. And it took me 2 songs to get into it. Third song hit, I was focused. It brought me way in, the third song, or at least what I'm looking at the track listings on Wikipedia.
I think that's an order of the movie itself.
Oh, okay.
So you're right. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. So once Surface Pressure hit, it got me pumped up. Like and once it starts going, I was all in. No tears for a good long while.
Oh, but then they eventually came, is what you're saying.
But when they hit pretty good, and I was kind of stuck for a while. I was just in a mood for a while. It was pretty good. This movie does a really good job. The first thing you notice about this movie, whether or not you're into the music, whether or not you're into whatever, the story or anything, one thing everyone needs to acknowledge is the fact that this is a beautiful animated feature. It is absolutely stunning. I think it's the most, How to Train Your Dragon had the sand.
There's a little sand in this one too.
There's a little sand in this one.
I don't know if it's as revelatory or anything, but
no, but it maybe not the sand, but the water.
Yeah.
And the hair.
The hair technology, man. It's unreal. It's very real. You know what I mean? That's where we've gotten is it's exceptionally real, but it's unreal the level of fidelity that they can bring to fucking animating hair these days. It's really truly, it's insane. Like that I'm glad you said that, because that's one of the big things that stuck out to me. Like you've got these lush environments and the water and in the jungle, and it's just very colorful and vibrant all the way throughout. The fucking hair. The hair is kind of that's the sand-esque type thing that I got out of this, the animation of this movie.
I paused the movie. Sarah, look at the goddamn hair. Jesus Christ.
That's the type of thing that you and I are like, holy shit, look at the fucking hair on this fucking people. This fucking this shit's crazy, man. Get these goddamn people a fucking Oscar.
They know how to make some hair. It's true,
look at how that strand moved out of place when she ran.
It's amazing. They gave physics to each strand of hair.
I don't even think they're clipping. I think it's not clipping with any part of their clothes. This is incredible. It's truly a breakthrough.
It's true. I mean, if you want to talk about the magic of Encanto, you talk about the hair. That's what the truly magical thing about the movie. And it has to be said. It's ridiculous. And so you got the songs. The songs are exceptional. When you have a track list of what I'm looking at here of 44 songs,
well,
certain songs are going to shine brighter than other songs.
There's a lot of that is the score, to be fair.
Okay.
Versus,
okay.
I think there's like, I don't know, like 7 or 8, songs.
Big old songs
that were, I think, written by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, and some of those are we'll probably have a like a top 3 song, top 2 song, top 1 song. Sure. I don't know.
Sure, we can do that.
But yeah, the music in the movie's great. The animation is ridiculous. It's a heartwarming story of just trying to find your way. You know what I mean? It's so good. There was one part in particular that made me tear up too. We can't really talk about it now. We'll talk about it later. But trying to make people happy and, just trying to find your way. It's like, it's just such good, like, cartoon territory or animated movie territory. Like, it's so good. I imagine that kids would probably thoroughly enjoy this movie. Seems like a very kid movie to enjoy. I don't know that to be true, but
no, I think so. I think I have at least a almost 4-year-old nephew who enjoyed it. From what I understand,
did he enjoy it?
So I'm told. We didn't watch it with him, but I'm told that he enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah, I think this is another success. I think it's right up there with it's up there with the Frozens and the Moanas and everything else. It carves out its own space. It's different. And it's thoroughly enjoyable, and it's a heartwarming story. It's very good.
Yeah, I agree with all of the above. It's definitely up there with the best of what we've gotten from the Disney animation, who are neck and neck with Pixar right now for putting out quality content. I mean, Raya last year was right there. The Frozens, Moana. I mean, they're killing it. They really are killing it. You know, basically year after year with movies of this quality. And this one does stand apart, as you said, because it definitely doesn't feel like that. You know, it's highlighting a culture that, you know, as we talked about at the beginning of the episode, is I don't think really a culture that we're seeing a lot. You know what I mean? And, you know, a dash of magical realism added to all of it, of course. You know, yes, you can add the asterisk there or whatever, but it's really genuine, it's really authentic, it's really earnest about what it's doing, and I think that it tells a very touching, heartwarming story of a relatable family, you know, and an outcast within that family, and how, you know, you learn togetherness as a family. You know, it's a really powerful emotional journey that you kind of go through, and it's brought to life with amazing hair technology, but beyond that, I think really just the lush visuals make this stand out. You know what I mean? It obviously you've got a lot of icy whites and blues, and Frozen and Moana's got, you know, the beach settings and the water, the open water. This is very different from that. You've got kind of a jungle-esque type setting, but with a lot more pop of color than you'd get. You know, you have the literal character who can conjure flowers and succulents and all that good stuff, and so she is just a beacon of bringing color into the world. But I think what maybe elevates this above, I don't know, I mean, look, I think what puts it, I guess, at the very least, on the same pedestal as all those other Disney animated movies is the fucking music delivers.
Yeah,
because it's really, really good. I didn't think there was a song that missed for me. You know, you can talk about favorites, obviously, separately, but every song felt different. You know what I mean? And I really appreciated the diversity and variety and the type of songs that we got. You know, some of them are more modern poppy type songs, and then there's more like classical, like this feels like a Colombian, you know, fucking cultural touch point, you know what I mean? Which I'm sure it isn't. I think all this shit was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda for the movie.
There was one song that was, rather than being written in English and then put into Spanish, there was one song that was written entirely in Spanish for, or Colombian, I guess. But I think it's written in Spanish. I don't know. It was
Spanish,
written in a different language.
This Spanish. Yeah.
And, yeah, it was written in Spanish for that particular thing, and rather than being transcribed or translated and then performed in Spanish, and that's because it was inspired by the culture and everything else. From what I was reading on the Wikipedia.
Okay. Yeah, that's fairly cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think one thing I liked about the songs particularly, I think that make it stand apart from my recollection of those other films is I feel like a lot of the other films have kind of more typical musical type staging in terms of like how the songs are delivered. Like I think about Moana and How Far I'll Go is like her like kind of running around on the island singing it to the villagers and like, you know, putting the boat and putting it in the water and like trying to go out on her own. But it's kind of like a narrative that you're seeing unfold. A lot of the songs here kind of feel like individual music videos.
Straight up
like,
music videos, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's different than what we see with a lot, where, you know, like some of the action is obviously still happening because like by the end of the music video or whatever you want to call it for a particular song, like the actions have somewhat occurred and people are like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like they kind of respond to it like they are kind of doing the actions, even if it's not necessarily happening in that particular way. But I liked that because you know, within a 3-minute span of any given song, you're exposed to a variety of just, you know, splendid visuals and like dancing and like different types of dancing. And you get
it's
like
just totally different.
You get like really different splashes of personality because I feel like, you know, the songs kind of, you know, one sister gets this song and another sister gets, you know, this song, and the cousins and, you know, and aunts and uncles get another, you know, like each song kind of highlights different members of the family more particularly. And that kind of makes them have their own kind of unique style and feel. Like no one music video feels like the other music video. Like, okay, maybe there's dancing in both of them, you know what I mean? But everything feels really unique. I think it helped with the pacing of it too, where because it's so varied, I think, in its approach, like, yeah, you're kind of always on your toes. Like, you know, I don't really know where it's going to go in terms of the story. And I think the story itself, I think, you know, the little details of, you know, this plot happening and this plot happening, like they're fine, you know what I mean? Like they're not amazing, but I think the broad strokes of it more so are really where I think the emotional wallops come in, you know, just the themes of family. It's not a hard story. Means. No, it's not. It's relatable. It's relatable in its simplicity of, you know, what it's like to even if it's not family, to not fit into your, you know, with your peers even, maybe, you know, like this is very deliberately about family, but I think these types of themes can be transposed to anyone, you know what I mean? Like certainly there's a situation where any given person, most of any given persons, you know, will feel ostracized in a certain type of environment, or, you know, feel different or feel other than. And, you know, this kind of really plays on that with Mirabelle, who's our main character, and she's different. She's not magical, you know, so it's a pretty big deal for a family who is nothing but magical. And, you know, so it's a really difficult struggle, I think, for her to reconcile her role with the family of someone who's trying to do good and, you know, kind of getting underappreciated and shat on, you know, at every turn. So I think it handles that all really, really well. So hopefully that wasn't just a 10-minute version of my 2-minute spiel on the No Way Home episode, but I watched this in theaters probably a few weeks ago, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, I would guesstimate, and I rewatched it today on Disney Plus because it's on there, and I wanted to watch it again before we recorded because it had been that good chunk of time, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad it's on Disney Plus. I'm glad it's very widely accessible now because maybe this movie didn't do gangbusters at the box office, although to be fair, they probably cut their own legs off by putting it on Disney Plus. It's definitely worth checking out. So I think that does it for me for non-spoilers. You want to do recommendation?
Yes, yeah. And then we can have kind of a
we get a little more in depth, obviously, with the nuances of the film itself. So recommendation wise, since I guess this is a new year, maybe perhaps there are some new listeners. We use 5 tiers for our recommendations. At the very top is very yes, and going down to the bottom we have yes followed by totally fine, and then fine, and then shithouse, which, as you could surmise, is the worst that we could offer a film. I don't think we've done it in a little while. I don't think we're going to do it here, obviously, but you know, sometimes it happens. Although
sometimes it does happen.
We were more choosy in 2021, I think, is really what it came down to.
Moral of the story.
You know, if we're risking our goddamn lives to see a movie, it better be worth at least expecting it to be somewhat worth our time. You know,
no Hellboys in there.
No Hellboys or Wrinkle in Times.
No.
So where do you stand on Encanto for your recommendation?
This is a very yes movie for me. Something there for everybody. The boundary of animation has been pushed forward. The technology.
Yep.
The envelope's been pushed. What's my analogy here? I'm feeling like I'm getting my fucking analogy wrong. Is that right?
I think it pushing the envelope. Yeah, that sounds all right. I mean, a lot of animated movies are doing that. It's like the Spider-Verses. They're doing that. You know what I mean? Like
leapfrogging each other. It's
every even just the Disney ones. Like there's some sort of something where it's like, okay, the technology has allowed them to do this in a way that they couldn't have done that even a year before or 2 years before. You know, and
it's incredible.
Maybe it's hair, maybe it's something else, but
it's like you watch Toy Story and then you watch Toy Story 2.
Leaps and bounds, yeah.
You know, and then you watch, anyways.
And then you watch Toy Story 3 and you watch Toy Story 4. You can see the evolution right there.
Yeah, it's nuts. Same, How to Train Your Dragon. Watch that first How to Train Your Dragon, and then watch the third one.
That's probably not
more.
quite the Toy Story to Toy Story 4 leap because there's more time there, but if you look at when Dragon 1 came out to when Dragon 3 came out, like it's not that much time, but it's a huge gulf in quality. It's crazy. It's
ridiculous.
Insane. Anyway, those are good films. They're not Disney or Pixar, but you should check them out anyway because they're great films.
Yeah, anyways, heartwarming story, hits you in the feels, and something about, animated movies.
Does it to you every time.
Yeah, it's just like the most basic stories. Like you get in your adult life, and you're just like, I gotta pay the bills. You gotta go work, and people are being shitty, and you got the fucking corona, and you got the fucking president of the United States, and you got fucking Korea, and you're just in the shit. You're in the fucking trenches all day, every day. You're an adult, blah, and then you kind of like lose sight of like the lessons that you learn as a young one, as a child, as a mini child. And you can see it's just I don't know. They really bring you back, man. They let you know what's important. It's like, maybe I shouldn't be shitty to my family, or maybe I should do this or that. And they kind of, that's why these animated movies have something there for everybody. And so this one's no different. This one's got something there for absolutely everyone. It's told with grace. It's told with finesse. It's cool. And it's done with a little sprinkle of a culture that I do not get exposed to a whole lot. So I found the whole thing wildly entertaining. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, it's a simple but relatable story brought to life with amazing visuals and clearly by a crew of people who give a shit and had something to offer, which is great. So yes, I'll say very yes for Encanto as well. I really, really enjoyed it. Got choked up, a couple times. I felt like the voice cast, they were all great, and it was kind of refreshing, not recognizing, honestly, a good chunk of them, just being like, oh, that's so-and-so.
I don't think I recognized any of them.
Oh, that's The Rock playing Crypto the Superdog, like... That's Kevin Hart playing a dog that's pissing for 2 minutes straight. You know what I mean? Like, it was nice not having that sort of kind of feeling.
Because those are your characters now. That's your staple.
Yeah. I mean, and even honestly, like, I guess this is a very, very mild spoiler. Who I would say is maybe, like, for me, one of the best, like, most recognizable name is John Leguizamo, and he plays a character who's really not in it a whole lot. And it's an important character. It's a big character. But he's not in a whole lot. And like Stephanie Beatriz, who's Mirabelle in this, like, she's most well known for TV work. She's not like some big fucking name actress or anything like that. So, it's good. It lets you kind of just sink into the movie and not worry about, Beyonce playing a deer or some shit in this movie like she did in one of those. I don't even know what the fuck that movie was. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate that sometimes of just anonymity in some small way, just letting you
had no idea.
Get into the movie a little bit more.
Luigi's character. John's
fucking
character.
Luigi. Luigi. What's your last name? Luigi. Luigi. Or is it is it Luigi Mario? Is it Mario and Luigi Mario? Is that what it is?
I think that's it. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it makes more sense because he's second. He's second fodder to Mario, obviously. Mario. Anyway, what a classic film. We'll do the bonus episode on Super Mario Brothers, the '90s
one day.
Live action one day, when we've run out of truly every other topic to cover. So yes, a consensus very yes on Encanto. That brings us to full spoilers for Encanto. I feel like you were gunning towards some spoilery conversation earlier, but you stopped short. I don't know if you can recall what you were going for. If not,
so
what else is on your mind?
First moment I got choked up.
Okay, all right, that's a good place to start. Sure, let's hear it.
Is shit. Do you see her touch the door? You do. You see her touch the doorknob, and then the fucking doorknob disappeared. The whole fucking door goes away.
When she's a kid.
Do you see that before or after she meets Bruno?
It's before.
Yeah. Okay. So first time is, well, there was no tear.
Okay. But it was
like,
you feeling a lump?
Yeah. It's like, ooh, she goes touch that fucking doorknob. The whole doorknob disappears.
Well, and that moment I think is also even more emotional because she's walking up with her cousin who is about to get his gift. You know what I mean? Like she has to do the walk for the second time after basically it went so horribly the first time, and just, I feel like they did such a great job, not only with hair, as we've said, the eyes were expressive.
Yeah, they were.
And I feel like, her as a kid, just like looking up at like Abuela being like, did I do something wrong? You know what I mean? Like what just happened? You could just see the innocence in her eyes and just like the, just the heart. Everyone's like, oh shit, what do we do? Like what just happened? Yeah. But she's just a fucking kid, kind of caught up in it, like not really understanding and the gravity of like what just happened. So
the whole fucking door disappeared.
So the whole door disappears. Yeah. Yeah. It's brutal.
You have to go back to the nursery because there's no room for you. You have no room. You have to go back to the fucking hall.
Your room didn't open. You just hang out in a normal ass bedroom. It's man. Yeah.
It speaks volumes of her character and everything else because how she's got like this drive to like find her purpose, you know what I mean, and find what she's supposed to be doing. But she and it's just really awesome how she finds that, how she finds her her special power, Yeah. And anyways, second moment I got choked up is when fucking Bruno, they find Bruno, motherfucker's got a painting of a plate just outside of the fucking dining
room. Adjacent to where everyone else sits at the table. Yeah.
He sits there and watches them eat dinner. And he can't. Yeah. Oh, God, that was terrible. That was brutal. That one I actually kind of shed a tear on.
Okay.
And then there were no tears for quite some time.
But at a certain point they come.
Yes. They came really bad when Abuela's story comes on and they sing that song in fucking Spanish.
Yeah, and that's when Abuela's kind of telling. It's
the whole story.
The whole story of when like her love.
It's like, yes.
Yeah.
It's like Up, but much more beautiful. And and then he sacrifices himself for the family, and then he turns into a fucking candle that gives his family magic and protects the family from all the people and all this shit. Oh my God, it was terrible. And then they come back and Abuela's all like, I made mistakes too, and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. I love you. You're wonderful, blah, 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 blah. And, and then they come back to the city and all the townsfolk come and rebuild the house and, and it's all great. And then she gets her own fucking doorknob and it's at the entrance of the house. And that was so great. And then everybody goes in the house and parties like, oh, God damn it, my heart's going to explode. It's too happy. It was so good.
Yeah. The last, good. Whatever it is, 10, 15 minutes are just, they're bliss. You know what I mean? Like, it's, because you start with that, the song is beautiful. I think that was the one I assume that was just written in Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Was it, Dos Oruguitas, Oruguitas, I'm not sure. I'm a little rusty in my Spanish myself. It translates to two caterpillars is what it translates to.
Is that what that translates to?
But you could tell that one
song is beautiful.
It was a gorgeous song, and it's like a you're right. Up is a great comparison. It's just that little story that does just like damn, like it just hits you. And I think obviously you're building off of having known this family to that point for close to an hour and a half, and obviously enjoying a lot of them, but to kind of see the origins and kind of to see how it really all plays out, like it feels more real. It feels more powerful than I think a lot of the rest of the movie is, and just so it kind of wallops you, and then it obviously kind of develops into the magical side of that, and building the casita and the town and all that.
And it really just hammers home the point of perspective. Everybody just sees his abuela as just, well, yeah, she was being kind of shitty.
She was. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Like she's in effect the villain of this movie, in a movie that really doesn't have a villain. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But Abuela was kind of,
it's the anti-love your family, or the hatred amongst your family shit. That was the true villain, because it was between the sisters.
Yeah.
And it's all got to do with perspective too, because she just sees her sister as a perfect fucking flower princess, and she looks at her other sister. She don't have any powers, and she's always just being shitty towards her. She's just a powerless muggle, shitty person towards her. I get it. Whatever.
Muggles.
Yeah. So it's all about perspective, and it's about recognizing perspective and loving the person you're next to. It's a wonderful fucking thing. What's the name of that? What's that name of that song that you looked up there?
Let me probably get the Dos Oruguitas.
This is just instrumental.
I think that's. No, I think that's the one.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
I think there's a couple versions of it too, so it's possible that
one is just an instrumental.
Maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's for me what really I think sets off like the most powerful, impactful part of the film is really, because it's kind of, like I said, it's sad, and then it kind of, when it builds back up with the building of the house and then the doorknob. Honestly, it was really the fact that Mirabelle finally gets included in the photograph at the end that like kind of was just like that was the little bit, because like she's like, she's not in the picture. She was never in
any of the pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of shitty thing where she's just kind of forgotten, shunted off to the side, but no longer. It was really nice, and I felt like a lot of like throughout the movie, I'm just like, oh man, Abuela kind of fucking sucks, man. Like, we're watching the film through the lens of Mirabelle, so of course we're gonna relate to her, and Abuela's like, nothing wrong here. Everyone go back into partying, like, don't worry about it. Whereas she obviously knows that there are things that have yet to come to pass, and she's basically just hiding it all. I'm like, God damn it, lady. God damn it. You know what I mean? I feel like I haven't seen a movie where the Abuela character is one that I don't, where I'm mad at that character. Usually it's a sweet old lady where, she's bringing wisdom to the table, and, and here it's just like, oh man, I don't want to hate this woman. But I felt like, they did a good job by the end of kind of giving you enough of her backstory to make you understand like why she did the things that she did, and giving her the wherewithal to recognize, yeah, you know what, I was being a little shitty. In fact, that was being a lot shitty, and I apologize for that. You're as much a part of this family as anyone else is. We have every right to be part of this. So. Yeah, I think that was handled all really exceptionally well, and it makes for a very emotionally charged last 10-15 minutes. Coming on the heels of probably not stuff that's nearly as emotional, but it's a fun ride until it's just, and when it's not emotional, it's still fun. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the joy of watching this film, enjoying the music videos and stuff like that. Is I'm not being brought to tears by Luisa's lifting a bunch of donkeys and shit, and dancing around. Like, it's fun.
Now, that is a pretty incredible song. I like that one too.
That one was fun too. I mean, that was a song that I guess got you hooked or whatever.
Yeah. So, like, if we're talking about the songs real quick, I'll talk about the songs real quick.
Let's talk about them.
So that song brought me in. I'm going to say it's not my favorite song. I think my favorite song is We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Okay. We don't talk about Bruno.
That shit was groovy. Bruno, no.
Bruno, no. Yeah.
And they got that, the aunt and the uncle, the one with the cloud over her head.
Yep.
And the uncle, he's like so animated in his face, and he's always dancing and shit.
Yeah, he's just moving.
That was a good song. I really like We Don't Talk About Bruno. And I like how they make Bruno like this big scary dude all the time. The entire movie thinks Bruno's like a fucking villain or something. You don't know what he did. Really? Abuela was just shitty to him too.
Abuela was just shitty to him too, ostracized him. He felt compelled to leave to try to keep everyone else together, or just to protect Mirabelle, I guess, because of that vision, I guess, that he gets.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good-natured dude.
He's an unsung hero.
It's funny because some of these powers are absolutely more useful than others, I
love the girl that can hear things.
That's very funny.
She pieces the thing together, and the dad comes in, and he's like, "Don't you tell anybody about the thing." And she goes, "Boop."
and then immediately cuts to Mirabelle is just staring her down, like, and no, the listeners can't see my face, but it was very wide and expressive. Just telling her with her eyes to shut the fuck up. But obviously,
there's a plate of mashed potatoes or whatever.
Plate goes up front, and it's all over from there. Yeah. I enjoyed the cousin who can mystique about. He can transform, and it turns into a baby sometimes. When
the magic's failing, he just turns into a baby.
He just turns into a baby, and then when he gets told the thing about Mirabelle, like his eyes get all fucked up.
Hey, fix your face.
Fix your face.
It's good. It was pretty good.
It's very funny when it tries to be funny. It's very funny. And the songs themselves are like entertaining and funny too. You know what I mean? Like the lyrics of them, like it's good to listen to. It's fun to listen to them, but it's, I don't know. It's something. Lin-Manuel Miranda, man, like he's got a way with words. He's
a talented dude.
Yeah. He's an exceptionally talented dude. It's really crazy. I feel like he, for me, really hasn't missed. I mean, obviously Hamilton kind of being that, like, I think probably for both of us, first exposure, really, you know what I mean? I think he worked on Moana, and so we probably heard some of that stuff, but like that was like the first, like, this is just him doing all of this, and it was insane and mind-blowing. Still is, I often have that twinge in my brain where I'm just like, I just want to watch Hamilton. I could watch Hamilton, right? I don't have 4 hours, but I could watch it right now. You know what I mean?
If I did.
And then The Heights, which we saw, I guess, last year. I'm going to struggle with that for a couple episodes, but that one didn't have the same sort of pull to me as Hamilton. But like, it was all catchy as shit and fucking cool and fun and stuff. So.
But Hamilton's unreal. Like
Hamilton's
thinking about Hamilton right now. It's like, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we should. We'll just skip the catching up section. We're gonna start Hamilton. We'll be up. Andrew's New Year's resolution to get to bed at a decent hour and go to work well rested. Well, that's shot because we got to watch Hamilton.
Yeah, we'll be going to bed at 2. Long fucking movie that one is.
But he brings something. He really has a very, very. He's got a special talent. It's really awesome to see and awesome for us to hear. Obviously we're the benefactors of this, of being able to hear what he puts out at a pretty fucking, good basis. I mean, I'm sure this was a couple years in the making, and fucking, I don't even think he watched it. You really should watch it on Netflix. Tick, Tick, Boom. It's got Andrew Garfield and he directed it. It's an adapted kind of thing. So he didn't do the music on that, but his direction is impeccable, and the music in that is also really good. That was his directorial debut. So
okay. I thought you meant Andrew Garfield's directorial debut. I was talking about it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you should check that out. Everyone should check that out. It's really good. I'll preview of future attractions. I'll probably talk about it in some capacity on our look back at 2021 episode. So
really.
Yeah. When's Ace Ventura coming back? Weren't they supposed to make a third one at some point?
I think it was a rumor. We just revisit the two of them again.
We'll see what happens.
We do like once a year.
Yeah, we'll just keep doing bonus episodes. We'll check in, Do we still like it? Yeah, it's still pretty fucking funny, man.
I think that does it for Encanto. There's nothing I can say to push anybody any other way. Go see it. Yeah, go see it for sure. I really did enjoy all the songs. I mean, I think like they because they're so different, it's hard for me to like pick a real favorite or a few favorites, because I think that they all kind of, I don't know. I mean, like Dos Orejitas is like, that's the emotional song. That's the song where I'm just like, you could listen to that probably without watching the film and think like, man, this is beautiful. And like, you're just song. Like, there's a tear just falling from your eye, and you're like, I can't explain this. I don't know how this is happening. You know what I mean? Whereas like, I don't know, like the Family Madrigal is just fucking catchy as shit. Like the very first song is just, to me, is just super catchy. And having watched it 2 times maybe, like it's kind of rooted in my brain right now. I feel like the first time, Surface Pressure was one that I really, really liked. And We Don't Talk About Bruno is very, very funny. And that's a good one because I think it's one of the few songs that basically involves every single cast member in some way. So it goes through kind of a few different twists and styles
turns.
A little bit.
And styles, yeah, definitely. So it's really, really fun.
Musical song.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean...
those would be my top 3 songs. You just topped them.
Okay,
then... We Don't Talk About Bruno and Surface Pressure.
Yeah, and for myself, I would add Family Madrigal, because I just think it's a really fun introduction to
the one where she gets chased down by the kids?
The very beginning, yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's just fun, and it's almost an exposition-heavy song. We've just been like, this is my family member, and this is the talent they have, like that's kind of the vibe of it. But it's fun, and it's setting the stage for the punchline of like, oh yeah, and I don't have a gift. So anyway, life sucks. So what are you gonna do? But yeah, I don't really need to get into anything other super spoiler heavy. It's a great film. It's not about, like I said, the beat by beat plot. It's about the emotions and the relatability and just going on this journey with Mirabelle and being able to relate to her, and it does that really, really well. So it's a highly recommended film. It's a good cap to some of the 2021 content, and as far as episodes go, it's a hell of a start to 2022 in terms of our recording process anyway. So there you have it. I think that is Encanto, yeah. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, roughly, since we recorded on Spider-Man. Christmas, I think we recorded that before Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas has occurred. New Year's Day has occurred. So certainly some time has elapsed. Have you been up to some good things in that span of time?
Forgot it had been that long. Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah.
So we had Christmas. We were supposed to go to we were supposed to go to Christmas, and
in Georgia.
In Georgia, yep. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Supposed to go to Christmas in Georgia. Sarah ended up catching COVID. Day of Christmas, we tested her, and she had COVID.
Yeah,
real shitty. She didn't feel very good. She only had like one bad day of bad symptoms, which unfortunately was Christmas. But as a result, we did the responsible thing, and we self-quarantined. And
stayed your asses at home.
And I had a staycation for a week.
Mm-hmm. Which
Sarah pretty much had a staycation as well. It was an unorthodox staycation because we couldn't sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
We tried to keep, she wore a mask all week, so there was no cuddling, no kissing, no, so it was, It wasn't a very affectionate week. But there are other ways to show affection other than physical touch. You can show your affection by deeds. And so I finished and hung her swing. I did all the fucking air filters. I always forget to do fucking air filters. I hate air filters. It's a pain in the ass carrying the ladder around the house, change fucking air filters. I hate them. Anyways, I changed all the air filters and sucked out the vents and shit. What else did I do? Can't remember. Oh, I hung a ceiling fan. That's cool. I played a lot of Metroid. Dread.
Metroid Dread, yeah.
I forgot how much I really enjoy a Metroid game. Metroidvania game. I guess it's just a Metroid game because it's
I mean, we haven't had a proper 2D. Obviously, I guess it's 3D and graphical style, but it's a 2D style gameplay. We haven't had that in a long time for Metroid.
A lot of fun. I'd actually, and I could be out of practice. I've been playing video games in a while, or especially like platformy, puzzly games or whatever. I haven't played them in a long time. So I could be out of practice. But I was actually stuck roaming the map for like 2 days. I couldn't figure out where the fuck to go. And eventually I found it. I refused to look it up. Could have looked it up and probably solved my problem, but refused to look it up. Eventually I found it, which I felt pretty good about that. So I seem to be on my way forward now. But it's a very cool game, very fun. Oathbringer. I'm a good ways into that. I think I'm probably at least maybe a little less than a third into it. About 10, 12 hours in, something like that.
Very nice.
Very good book. It's getting I'm getting a lot of exposition about the enemy forces and what they're made of and all that cool stuff, which is pretty interesting. I watched Encanto. I've watched all of Hawkeye. I've watched the first episode of Boba Fett. I've watched the first episode of The Expanse, which I could probably give you my thing on that because I don't think we'll talk about The Expanse, at least not in a very long time. But
yeah, that'll be an actual bonus episode.
I think I saw the first episode or two.
Okay. Yeah,
and it's good.
There's only 6 this season, which I did confirm. I think I was telling you about that because oh, by the way, we saw each other at some point in the span that we haven't recorded.
Well, I was trying to work my way up there because I haven't.
I'm not trying to skip ahead. I'm just it's again another preview of future attractions.
I sold all my pops. That's a big one.
Yeah.
So I didn't sell them all. I sold a vast majority of them.
Not all of them.
And gave a vast majority of them away. So I'm pretty popless right now. I've got probably 14 pops, maybe less. So that's a thing. Cleaned out the man cave. It's pretty empty in here now, which is I've never seen it empty in here ever. So yeah, I quit nicotine. I haven't puffed. I haven't. It's now the 6th.
Yes, it is the 6th of January as of recording.
I have not touched nicotine or a puffer in any way since Saturday the 1st. So
not bad.
I'm
bad.
Almost 6 days through.
You got to keep it up. Got to keep it up.
So yeah, that's
chomp on some sunflower seeds. If need be.
I have bags and bags of these. Bags of them
stocked up.
Today was the first day that I pretty much I started snacking on once I had these beers, but I went all day today without much of a craving, which was good. Yeah, so that's good. Colton came down. Got to hang out with Colton.
That's true.
Enrique came down as Lean. I should have started with them. Enrique and Lean came down. We hosted them over, I think, just before Christmas. There was a little COVID action over there as well, so their Christmas was a little just a little wobbly. But they, they did the correct thing too, and they navigated it the way they needed to. But I did get to see them, which was awesome. And then the tail weekend. We watched the season finale of Hawkeye together.
Okay, that's fun.
And then we watched that Klaus animated movie on Netflix.
I've heard so many good things about it, and I still haven't seen it.
It's pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty good. All right, not like amazing, but pretty good. Would you say?
I would say I had a whiplashly effect with it. When it hit really hard, and it was really good. But then, like, the humor, I felt like the humor only landed a couple of times.
Okay.
And it was
Were there any tears?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
that's a low bar. I mean, that's fucking...
It's an animated film, and it brought it's a bar, though, at the same time, because if it did not elicit tears...
Oh, that's true. It's
then,
really shit
then
house,
I would really know that, they missed the mark here.
I would say it might be like a staple Christmas movie. Like, it's worth watching.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good.
All right. Anna and her family, watched it last year, I think, because we had Christmas apart from each other last year, because I spent it with my parents, she spent it with hers.
Right.
Because of how COVID was at the time. We didn't do the same thing this time, but I know she watched it, and I didn't get a chance to watch it, and we didn't watch it this year either. So it's on my list, but yeah, we'll save it for... close to a year from now at this point.
It's got the last performance from, or I don't know about last performance, but it's got a pretty decent performance from McDermott, Buddy the dog from Dr. Dolittle, the guy that passed away.
Yes.
It's Norm not
Macdonald?
McDermott. The McDonald, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I watched that. And I found out that I have the ability to watch Resident Evil, Raccoon City, so I will be watching that sometime very shortly.
All right.
Down a date.
I'm sure it's out of theaters by now, but certainly let me know how it is, and
I will certainly let you know. I'm hyped as fuck to watch that.
Maybe, God, because that's not a movie that I can watch with Anna, because she truly has absolutely no fucking interest. So not only will I have to watch it on my own time, but then I'll have to actually watch the thing.
It's a real struggle. It might be. It might
maybe
not
it's
be a
good though.
struggle.
Maybe it won't be. You'll have to report back on next episode, maybe episode after that, depending on when you find the time. But I'll be curious. I'm very curious, in fact.
And then we got to hang out. We got to watch. Played a board game. Played War Chest. We
played War Chest. Yeah, busted it out. Brushed.
It was a long game that could have not been so long.
Yeah, we took a few breaks. I think throughout, but it was fun.
We
little strategy board game.
Philly, no, It's Always Sunny in Philly. Got to watch a couple of those.
Yeah. Frank pooped the bed. Sorry to spoil it for folks. That was, I think, a season 4 episode, so we're about 10 seasons past that now.
That's good.
That was very funny. I love that show. It's a
good show.
It's always funny, whatever the topic is. Despite how irreverent and fucked up things get, it's still always funny. It's always funny.
Yeah.
Always Sunny is always funny. You heard it here first. I'm sure no one has ever said that before. I'm sure of it. No one has ever made that remark. I guarantee it.
The humor is just on point. I think it is anyways. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, good show. Good show. I was happy to watch that. I hadn't seen it in a while. And Colton got a record player for Christmas.
That's true. It's true. So I should say, we haven't gotten you a Christmas present. It's not because we don't love you.
I thought you got me a Christmas present. I thought you did.
Well, I got you a birthday present, which hasn't arrived yet.
Dune's I thought that was a Christmas present.
I think that was intended to be a birthday present. We can treat it as both if you're feeling generous, but but we've been brainstorming, trying to figure out what to get you, because you knocked it out of the park with the Christmas present for Anne and myself, and we're like in like that point we're like, oh shit, what do we do? And so we've had discussions. We'll have some discussions off air. We'll figure it out. We don't need to do that right here and now. But well, I can pick it up here, but I want to make sure that you're done with your piece.
I thought I did pretty good this time. Usually, I watched a movie. I read a book.
Yeah, no, I mean, you've been doing. I think you've been using your hands more than anything else. So and what you have been watching is the movie we just talked about. So, did you watch any of The Witcher? The new season of The Witcher?
No, need to get on that. There's a handful of shows that I intended to start and finish over the course of the break.
Just didn't get to it.
No, I was too busy. I couldn't do it.
It happens. But yes, I'll just start with the record player just to finish that. Yeah, you got us like a Victrola suitcase kind of briefcase style player. I think the inspiration was maybe you'd probably be better suited to explain it, given that you were the one that gifted to me.
To get you one?
Correct.
So I wanted to get you two a record player. A, because you don't have one.
This is true.
B, I think you would thoroughly enjoy it, and I think
This is also true.
But C, mainly because you refused to buy one. You refused to buy a record player.
Because we must have talked about it at some point, whether on air or off air. I don't recall specifically.
We did talk about it. He said this is a sickness that I just cannot.
I don't want to get sucked in.
I don't want to get sucked into it. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to get him a record player.
Yeah.
So I got him a record player within, I don't know, 3 hours.
Oh.
3 hours. You had ordered, 6 records?
Now you say you.
It's Anna, too.
That's a collective you. Honestly, it's mostly her. It's mostly her. She doesn't listen to these things, except for what she can hear through the door. So she might be able to hear this right now, even though I'm trying to speak in hushed tones.
But it is. She ordered a bunch.
But I did order, and I pre-ordered the new Under Oath record. So that's for me. Definitely not for her. Yeah, we've put together a little bit of a collection thus far. You started us off with the No Time to Die original score from her favorite Hans Zimmer, which is legitimately a very good score. Him putting in the work, actually. But since then, we've gotten Billie Eilish's new record, Happier Than Ever. She got the Wonder Woman score. The first one, not the second one, because it's one of her favorite scores. Not the second one by Hans Zimmer, which she fucking hates.
Say, another Hans Zimmer score.
No, not quite. I think it's Rupert Gregson Williams, who's like a disciple of Hans Zimmer. There's probably lots of disciples of Hans Zimmer, to be fair. She got The Greatest Showman Reimagined, which is like cover songs of songs from that movie.
Okay.
Got Chromatica by Lady Gaga.
Lady Gigi.
Lady Gigi, Lady Gaga. I think there's at least one more. Fucking Rumors by Fleetwood Mac.
Nice.
That shit is impeccable. It's like a gold vinyl. It's beautiful. That's some good shit right there. So I think she ordered the complete Fall Out Boy vinyl collection, because it's the only way to get certain albums. Actually, it's her birthday present. Her birthday's in May, so it's an early somewhat birthday present. I think we'll piecemeal some of the albums out to her, maybe. But yeah, you've created a monster, is what I'm saying. But it's really fun. We set it up on our bookshelf to the right of the TV.
Okay.
I think there's a way for us to probably hook it into the receiver. We haven't done it yet. We've just been playing it from the included speaker, but this weekend probably is really because we got back into town super fucking late on Monday. Monday night we got in about after 2 a.m.
Oof.
Both of us had to work the next day, you know. And so we really haven't had a huge moment to pause since we've been back in Philly, because we've been working and we're bad about going to sleep early, so that's just how it goes. But this weekend we'll have some downtime, and I think I'll try to figure out what I can do to set it up and get it going on the surround sound, because I think that'll obviously bring it to life a little bit better than what the low player's capable of. So, but it doesn't sound bad. I mean, you know, for what we have, you know, we're pretty happy with it, and even though you've created honestly two monsters, you know, like, it's fucking cool.
It's cool. And that's
really
fucking cool.
Cool.
And if you want to...
It's a healthy thing to collect, in my assessment. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
it's always a healthy thing. You'll always appreciate every album you ever put on.
Yeah, you know, and I don't want to get too crazy with it in the sense that I'm spending hundreds of dollars on things that are out of print and stuff. But, you know, a lot of the new stuff you can get pretty readily for a decent price, and you know, and some of the other stuff has been reprinted or whatever. You know, like we got a lot up front. I think we'll probably slow our roll for a little bit, and, you know, and just kind of really be a little bit more choosy. But, you know, there's certain things I think that are just like, you know, we even talked about it. I think like the Guardians of the Galaxy like soundtracks, like those are like perfect fits for me for like to own the records of,
right?
And you know, just good variety.
I like
of songs.
good scores. I like good scores on it.
Scores are fucking cool.
On it.
I don't know. I think there's a few. I mean, I looked up the Tron Legacy score and it's a little bit more expensive.
They're expensive, yeah.
But that's one that I'm like, oh, that would be a good one to have. Really, any Daft Punk stuff would be excellent to have. I think you mentioned Ram particularly at one point.
And see, my goal is, this was my goal. I got both. So both you and Enrique are now working full-time professions. Okay.
Yeah.
The like, I don't have, I just don't buy this stuff for myself. You know what I mean? It's going to be harder to buy presents for you and him moving forward.
Yeah. Now you have something you can always go to.
Now I've got a gateway, right?
Yep.
Let me get this eclectic record that is out of print or whatever. You know what I mean?
Which, to be fair, is what I did for you by getting that.
You've done it. Yeah, you've done it to me for like 3 times, and I haven't been able to reciprocate.
I'm just like, I was just getting this is some badass shit. Like I'm living through them because I'm like, I'd probably buy this shit for myself if I. Right. If I had, if I wasn't restrained by the fact that I wouldn't be able to do anything with it, you know what I mean?
Now you can do something with it. It's
something
good.
like the Dune thing. I probably would have like, this feels that this is more his shit than mine. But I'd still be jealous. Cool. I still have the twinge of jealousy, but I have no regrets. You know what I mean? Like that's. I'll visit you at some point. I'll maybe have you put it on.
Can we listen to that record?
Yeah, and we'll enjoy it. We'll have a good time. But yeah. Well, thank you, for the present, and on behalf of Anna as well, thank you, because she's clearly gotten some enjoyment out of it, and I think we've played it every day since we've been here for at least a chunk of the day. It's not just a little fad that we're going to get over. I don't think. It's probably the start of a new era, for us in terms of collecting, listening, all that good stuff. So yeah, cool. let me just run through my little list, which is I think largely Christmas focused. I tried to keep it Christmas focused. I figured this would be a good episode to round up all of the Christmas goodness that I was up to. So I spent Christmas itself in New York, upstate New York, where Anna's parents live. My first Christmas, to my recollection, not with my family. But I was taken in by her family very graciously, and I had a good time up there with them. So it was nice being up there. We watched Christmas movies, as I'll talk about momentarily. And it was pretty relaxed. I think Anna did some wedding dress shopping, and she might have found the one. I don't know what it looks like, of course, but I think she found the one.
Yeah, you can't look at that shit. It's bad luck.
We toured the venue for our wedding and really liked what we saw. It's fucking massive ceilings. It's like an old bank vault that was converted. It's different,
that's cool,
but it's cool. You know what I mean? So I had a good time. I had a good yeah, a little bit. Minus the goblins.
If I'm not taking a mine cart driven by a goblin all the way to your venue.
Well, that's how everyone arrives. They get shot out of the vault and the mine carts, and so the guests don't do that, but groomsmen, bridesmaids, they get the mine cart ride.
Excellent.
So you won't be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. And so that was nice. It was nice being up there. Christmas Eve, I had this fucking like seafood stew made by one of their like the close family friends. I got so full I was gonna explode, and I didn't, fortunately. But man, I ate so much of that because it was so good. I have not eaten that much in years. I mean, literally years, to the point where I felt like I was about to burst. Yeah, I mean,
you're talking about it 3 weeks later. You must have been stuffed.
I felt like that fucking blueberry girl in Willy Wonka. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I felt after that meal. It was really fucking good. But we also so after Christmas we came back for like a day and a half, kind of turn around in Philly. She had to work for a little bit of time because she couldn't take the full amount of time off, and then we flew down to Florida. It was a huge fucking ordeal getting down to Florida because we took little Obi with us. American Airlines, those bastards, denied him, I guess, more specifically, because they said in their assessment that he was too big. He was not. He fit comfortably into his carrier. He was under the weight limit. The carrier was well within their dimensions. We ran into a real shitty person who well, he said it, not me. Who I think was on a bit of a streak because she had denied other dogs of similar stature multiple times that we saw dogs. Her. Yeah, conclusion, she fucking hated dogs, I think is really what it was. Or I think really more honestly, I think she was such a company man that she's like, well, what if a dog dies? We can't let any dogs on board. And it's just like, I mean, he's like he's a fucking puppy. Like whatever. I could get into that for another hour. I'm not going to do that because this is going to be a shorter episode. God damn it, I mean it.
Do you think that she has a problem with Paul Rudd as well?
Probably. She probably fucking hates Paul Rudd. She thinks he's the least funny. She thinks he's the most. She thinks he's the most unsexy individual in the world.
I hate dogs and Paul Rudd.
I hate dogs. I hate Paul Rudd. I think he's not sexy. What other fucking God? I mean, can we make this the worst person possible? I don't know what else I can throw. I don't know. That might be it. That might be it. You know what I mean? You know what else do you need? That's it. Those are the two criteria. And by God, you're the fucking Grinch. That's the most insanely idiotic response I've ever heard. Dog. Even the Grinch. The Grinch has a goddamn dog. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fucking Max. He loves Max, man. That's the one fucking thing that tethers him to the world is fucking Max, man.
And that poor woman at the fucking airport doesn't even have a Max.
She ain't got no goddamn Max, that's for sure. Anyway, we made it, thanks Southwest. Southwest Airlines got us down safe and sound to Florida. Spent a lot of time with my parents. My dad's doing better. Last time we were down, he was in the middle of cancer treatment, and the nasty combination of chemo and radiation put him in the hospital for a few days, much to his chagrin. But he's been done with treatment for a little while now. He actually got some results showing no detection of cancer or disease or anything like that right now. It's just he's feeling some after effects of radiation, which I think are natural as far as I'm aware. So he's doing great. He was doing great. It was fun. He's able to drink again. So I mean we pounded some beers when we were down there. He had some bourbon. My mom had some wine. We had fun. It was a great time. It was fucking 80 degrees, you know what I mean, at the end of December. So I hopped my ass into the pool. It was a little cold, but the hot tub felt great. Fire pit, we used the fire pit a few times. It was really fun, and I was able to see family too. I saw an uncle and an aunt. Saw another aunt and basically uncle at this point. It was nice. It felt a little bit more like a return to normalcy, which has been much needed, obviously, after almost 2 years of trying times, really. So it was nice, and we celebrated. Yep, and saw Dalton, my brother, saw Graham, my nephew. It was very little crossover, but we were able to get in and get up, and have about 3 or 4 hours to spend some time together, which was certainly better than nothing. That was great, and I saw Andrew, so that was like pretty cool too. That was good. He came up and stayed the night when we talked about that. It's always sunny and all that good stuff, but it was just fun. I was
hungover as shit when I come over, and I didn't have any nicotine. I was pretty miserable. I was a pretty bitter person.
Yeah, honestly, all of us went really hard New Year's Eve. Anna, maybe the most of all, not to throw her under the bus or anything like that, but you two were really, really, I think, feeling the ill effects, whereas I think I just needed to sleep until 1 p.m. and then I was fine. So clearly I had something to drink, but
it was fun. I was not feeling great.
But we rallied. We all rallied and we were fine. It was good. And it was good. It was great. It was really fun. And so it was just a big delay getting back into Philly on the way back, and then our bags took 40 minutes to pump out. I swear to God, we were like the second to last suitcases to come out of that fucking thing. I mean, we're standing there forever. I'm just like, oh shit, I don't know if it made it. You know what I mean? Like at a certain point.
Did you have any snafus at the Philly airport?
We did not have the snafus this time at the airport, other than the baggage just taking fucking forever, which I think is probably a fault of the airport.
No naked people in the bathroom?
No naked people in the bathroom. No one yelling at us. No one trying to assault Anna. No dog hating, Paul Rudd hating American Airlines employees, at least that I saw. So it was a better experience, but still not a great one. Philly Airport, not recommended by either of us.
I don't think me, you, or Enrique. I don't think all of us can do without it.
We've had some bad luck there recently for sure. But that's kind of like the day-to-day stuff that I've been up to. So let me just quickly run through the movies that I watched, which are all Christmas movies, starting with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one. I hadn't seen it, I think, in at least a few years myself. It's interesting. I look back at it and it doesn't get great reviews, but like, fuck it, man. That's a fun Christmas movie. It ain't your 1960s animated Grinch, and it's hell of a lot better than the fucking more recent one that they put out with Benedict Cumberbatch. It was like 3D animated. Like that one was bullshit. I never saw that one. That one was bullshit. Don't ever watch that one. You got two Grinches. You got the original and you got the Jim Carrey one. That's all you need in your life. The Jim, they're different. They're really different from each other, but the Jim Carrey one's super fun. It's super entertaining. Jim Carrey is fucking hilarious in it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's great. I think I know every line of that movie.
Yeah. I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
It's so funny. All the time to Theo. Theo! Stop that! That's not a chew toy. It's good.
That's good. Also, I was on Christmas Day. Also on Christmas Day, we watched a film that I'd never seen called The Holiday, which I feel like has seen a recent resurgence as a popular Christmas classic. It is the Jack Black, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, and I feel like there's a fourth like big name in it, but Cameron Diaz, yes.
Big name.
It's good. It's a rom-com. It's a pretty predictable for the most part. There's a good twist in it, I think. Rom-com. There's a twist that caught me off guard anyway. But I think in terms of the predicting where it ends up and how things end up, you know where you're going to end up. But that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Is Love Actually the one with the guy that does the British guy that's like a rock star? I can't remember his name.
Yes, that is Love Actually. That's I think it's Bill Nighy who's the rock star. Yeah. Okay, which we watched that last year. So that was the first time that I had seen that. So this is the first time I'd seen this one.
I don't think I've seen The Holiday.
Yeah, it's honestly I think it'd be a good pick for you and Sarah next year. I can't remember how we watched it. It may have been streaming, and it obviously at this point, it may be streaming next year, wherever, whenever. But it was fun. I'm not going to watch this every year, but I thought as like a kind of a new Christmassy thing to take in. It was good, I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Be lying if I said that I didn't.
Did I tell you that I watched Christmas with the Cranks?
I don't think so.
I watched Christmas with the Cranks.
You've seen Elf, and I feel like you watch Elf pretty much every year. So,
So our Christmas movies we watched this year was Christmas with the Cranks. Never seen it before, and I thought it was pretty hysterical. It had Tim Allen in it.
Maybe you did. I don't remember. I don't know.
He gets Botox at one point, and his face is all jacked up, and he's trying to eat fruit, and he's just drooling on himself the whole time.
Okay. Now, so for some reason this is sounding familiar. So either you told me on the last episode and I already forgot, or you told me in person and I already forgot. I don't know. Either way, it's either new or
it's pretty funny. I thought it was pretty good. And then we watch Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation every year. I like that one a lot.
Okay. Nice.
So those were the three big. Oh, and It's a Wonderful Life. Watch that one this year too. Or at least 3/4 of it. So
3/4 of it. What the fuck are you doing with your life? Where's the other quarter going?
I had to go play a board game.
You got to go back and finish it. I mean, you probably. You're probably just getting to the point where George Bailey is wishing that he never existed.
Yeah, it's pretty much where I got. Shit started going down the can pretty hard.
Yeah. You got to watch it. Have you seen it before? I'm sure I talked about it last year and probably the year prior before. Okay.
It's a pretty excellent movie.
Well, so the 26th of December, we watched, I think, what to me are like the biggest Christmas staples at this point in my life. The first one is the Muppet Christmas Carol, which is my dad's favorite, and so like A Christmas Story was like always like the default for our family growing up, and I actually haven't seen it in a couple of years. But the Muppet Christmas Carol, I think, as I've grown older, has become my favorite Christmas movie. And I think that it's still totally true. It's just it's an incredible film. Michael Caine playing it so fucking straight as Ebenezer Scrooge is excellent. He's so good, and I just love Gonzo as Charles Dickens and Rizzo the Rat just kind of through the whole ride. The songs are really good, and it's like honestly, like it really is, honest to God, just like the best adaptation of A Christmas Carol that you
I've
can
never
ask
seen
for.
it.
You've got to watch the Muppet Christmas Carol. It's on Disney Plus. Now, again, I can forgive you because maybe it's too late for Christmas movies now, but this year and 11 plus months, you know what I mean? Like the Muppet Christmas Carol, you have no excuses. If you haven't seen it, and I'm in Florida at some point, and you still haven't seen it,
we're watching
it.
Shit.
We're watching that shit. And even if I have seen it and you haven't seen it, we'll watch it. We'll watch
Fair
it because it's good. It's really, really good. But we also watched It's a Wonderful Life, which was something that Anna introduced me to basically when we started dating, whenever that first Christmas was a couple of years ago. And it's an amazing film. It really, really is a fantastic, fantastic film. So unique in its structure, where it's just mostly backstory for, I guess, close to 3/4 of it, and then shit hits the fan, and then it's kind of the resolution of that. But it's so good. Jimmy Stewart he's so wonderful in it. I guess pun intended, I guess, or whatever. But I it's one that now. It's a yearly staple, and every time I watch it, I appreciate it more. You know, I'm coming into her family where they can quote it all the time, and I'm not on that level or anything like that. But I'm working my way toward it. So, so you should finish that. You should definitely finish that. Last but not least, outside of the Christmas realm, because I needed something to do on my flights to and fro, I picked up a game on the Switch called Slay the Spire, which, as I learned, Andrew has on his phone, has put some serious chunk of time into.
Hundreds of hours in that game.
Yeah, it's a card based roguelike turn based game, I guess, basically.
It's like a card game, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking it's addicting as shit is what I'll say about it. I mean, certainly Anna can vouch for me on that front.
Not hundreds. 105 hours I've got in it.
105. All right, so 100 plus. I think I'm probably at about 10, 12, 15 range, I would guess. But I've had it for all of not even 2 weeks, I would guess. So I'm probably pacing pretty close to what you were since you started playing, I would guess. I still have yet to slay the Spire with any of the characters, but I came one hit point away from killing the boss of Act 3 or whatever it is, and I think I played the wrong card by accident. So I like stared at my screen in disbelief for about 5 minutes.
I think Anna
was
that thing.
I think I assume you can kill everyone. I assume there's a way to beat the fucking thing, like clear it at least, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure if you clear it, you still just do another run and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I was one measly card away from doing it. I stared at my Switch and I was just like,
what thing what's it look like? What is it?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I've seen it once because I can never get that far. I haven't gotten that far. I've gotten like 2 or 3 like little things away from the Act 3 boss, like a couple times maybe, but I don't remember what it was. I mean, it had a lot of fucking life. It was powerful as shit. I had something where I could regenerate HP every so often, and I think that anytime that I got hit, it would also get damaged or something like that. So basically, I don't think it was poison. I think it was the orb. It was the orb guy. Or
you
like
kick ass with. I love the orb guy. The orb guy's my favorite.
It was the fucking orb guy, and like that was like the third time I played the orb guy. I'm like, is this guy just OP as shit, or did I just luck into amazing set of power ups?
He's a glass cannon, so you either do really good with him or you do real shit, and you just don't make it past the first area.
I feel like I've noticed that, but yeah, I was so close, and I was so mad at myself. Oh, I was so upset, and I was worried about me. And I'm just like, I know it's a fucking video game, but
how many characters do you have unlocked?
3. I have 3 unlocked. So I have the main guy, the Ironclad, the Poison, the Huntress, maybe, and then
the Huntress, something like that,
and then Orb guy. I don't know what Orb guy's name is. Yeah.
Cool
so anyway,
game,
Slay the Spire.
Cool game.
It's like 75% off on Switch. I picked it up because it had been recommended on Reddit, and it's just totally my shit, so it's just a really, really good fit for me.
It's the only game I have installed on my phone. It's the only one I bother having installed. I've had it for, I think, like a year and a half. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. No, it's really good. I'm sure I'll hang it up at some point. I've got a million other games to get to, obviously, but it's a time sink, and it's addicting, so I can see how it's probably for the best that I don't have it on my phone. Otherwise, I'd be in danger. I'd be in some serious danger. My phone would die every day.
Well, it's funny. At one point, Sarah said, "Oh, you deleted Facebook. You just replaced it with that fucking game."
Yeah, well, she probably wasn't wrong. But, what are you going to do? But anyway, you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, spread the word. If you want to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat, you can get early access to all of our regular episodes, as well as timed exclusive access to any bonus episodes that we produce in 2022, and surely we'll have a handful. Stay tuned, I suppose, on that front. Our website is watchreviewrepeat.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we are at WRRPod. If you just want to follow us there. We're also on Facebook. Just search for Watch Review Repeat, like our page. Questions, comments, or suggestions can be sent to watchreviewrepeat@gmail.com. Certainly be happy to entertain a new edition of the Listener's Corner on any of these 2022 episodes. Our intro and outro track is Mechanolith by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. It is licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license, and our next episode has been decided. It will, in fact, be Hawkeye. It's all up on Disney Plus. Check it out. Enrique will be back with us, and the Marvel trio is going to be back for some more Marvel goodness. We had a little spell of the Marvel stuff with Encanto just now, but we'll be back, and then I guess we'll be taking a little bit of a break, at least until Doctor Strange rolls around. But yeah, it'll be good fun. I'm excited to talk about Hawkeye. It was a great Christmas show to enjoy in the holiday season, and so I think doing a little bit of a debrief on that's going to be some good fun. So yeah, that's what you have to look forward to, and I think now is a good time for Andrew to say sayonara to the listeners at home.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Laters on the Minjay.